Thanks for joining us back at the Midwest Showdown. This next matchup features Michigan Crossover taking on Indiana Flight and their Thunder squad. It is Crossover that strikes first after that lay-in, making it a 2-0 ball game. They get the turnover initially, but they turn it right back over, so now here's Flight. They drive along the baseline, cut off, and now they'll bring it up top. 30-second shot clock here in these games in the Elite Division. A little bit of high-low action going on. That shot off the mark. Sticking with it and getting the lay-in there to make it 2-2. One kicks off the back of the rim, offensive rebound and a lay-in there. That is number 21 for a Crossover. That's Alicia Smith. Foul on the play. Looks like we'll have a trip to the free throw line coming up for number 30. That's Kaiser. So we're tied at 4 there after that Kaiser chip to the free throw line. Crossover gets it across the timeline. Dialing up a 3, that's number 5. Camaria McDaniel off the mark there on that shot. Number 10, guarding 10. Out of air under that pass, it hits the bottom of the backboard. Crossover gets the turnover. Nice job of moving the ball around, and the 3 is buried there by Alicia Norman. Norman's 3 makes it 7-4 in favor of Michigan Crossover. That layup is left just short. Pass going to be thrown ahead. And it will be last touched by the Flight, so it'll stick with Crossover. (13 minutes, 35 seconds left to play here in the first half. Indy Flight working inside, now back out. Dilk with it out top. Trying to use the ball screen now. Good look inside. Shot no good initially, but following up is Smith. It'll make it a 6-7 ball game, a 1-point advantage for Michigan Crossover. This is Alicia Norman with it. Now she'll hand it off. Here's Deja Church. Church steps inside the three-point line and knocks down the deuce. She'll make it 9-6. That pass a little too tall. One of the things I've liked from Dilk, number 10 there for Indy Strike. Is the way she's really been able to try to get her teammates involved on the interior. Some of the passes have been a little bit too tall, so they've sailed out of bounds. You don't want to see the turnovers, but both teams just still kind of getting loose. You like that type of court vision and how deliberately they're trying to get their post players involved. Getting them involved and engaged early is always a good thing. That's Indy Flight, not Indy Strike. So it's a 5-point game now in favor of Crossover. Three from the corner. That one knocked down by number 12. No number 12 on my roster here. But luckily for a Crossover, that won't stop those points from being counted there on the scoreboard. That'll make it a 14-6 ball game coming up on the 11-minute mark. Nice cut. Foul on the play will send number 24, Layden, to the free throw line. Another offensive rebound for Flight. Now you have it, now you don't, as it was stripped away, but the same thing applies for Crossover as they turn it right back over. See if Flight resets it. About 15 seconds on the shot clock. Dilk will bring it back out. Jumper off the front of the rim. Nice defense there late into the possession for a Crossover. That one's blocked out of bounds. Coming back and getting the block there is number 21. That's Smith. Eight-point lead now for Michigan Crossover. Dilk picks up her dribble in a dangerous spot. Almost turns it over, but the Flight retain possession. Now she'll get a wide open look at three. In and out. Good shot selection for Dilk so far. Just hasn't been able to get it to connect as much as she would like to early on. That three-pointer is silky. That one a good few feet behind the three-point line there for number 12. Who's not on my roster but has 2 3-pointers here in the first half. Easy layup on the other end for crossover as that back and forth possession leads to points for the Michigan representative. Lead is now 13 points. And one. A potential 4-point play. There is that three-pointer is knocked down by crossovers number 10. It's Tia Tedford. So rolling on all cylinders now for crossover. You see the shot, you see the foul on the play. We'll take a timeout, and when we get back, it'll be a
My man, Dwayne Wade. You got this. You cool.
Cool like a penguin in a tank top.
Cool like a convertible with a snowplow.
Like a streaker at a hockey game.
Like a finger rolled in February.
Cool like a Yeti eating frozen spaghetti.
The cool, crisp flavor of Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Back from the timeout, Tedford heads to the free throw line. She's already got the three and gets the free throw on the back end. That will make it a 25-8 ball game in favor of crossover. Trying to work that one inside. Strong move on the interior. Can't get the shot to fall. The crossover will bring it across. And it looks like that stoppage in play was the officials touching base on something related to the clock. Because the clock had not started. Dialing up a three-pointer. Her second of the first half, Kamaria McDaniel. The lead is now 20 for Michigan crossover. Trying to work on the inside now. Crossover just rolling on all cylinders. This time is Marsha Hawkins' day with the weight room move inside. Now a 30-8 ball game. Coming up on the 7-minute mark. Ball poked away. And you look at some of the pieces that this flight squad has. So we've got a shot clock violation. This crossover just would not give Indiana Flight a chance to set anything up. By the time they did get a chance to set it up, it was beyond the setting up time in terms of the possession. They only had about 5 or 6 seconds to make a quick move and try to get a shot at McDaniel. So now 33-8. And again, this flight team, well-coached team, fundamentally sound, but just cannot get shots to fall. On the other end, Crossover is playing good defense, pushing it, and hitting shots on the other end. And I'm just sort of being Captain Obvious right now. You're seeing the way they're shooting the ball. And it's just like that. It is now a 36-8 ball game. We'll take a timeout. Michigan Crossover is rolling here at the Midwest Showdown.
There are patterns to everyday life. The sun rises in the east. Winds blow from the west. Heaving oceans rise and fall. And every darkness reveals the brightest stars. There is power in these everyday patterns. And our muscles, like our minds, have memory. And for that, we must be strong. Every day.
Welcome back to Courts for Sports here in Mason, Ohio. About 15 minutes or so from downtown Cincinnati. Michigan has made themselves right here at home in the Buckeye State, currently leading by 28. We'll see how Flight responds after their most recent timeout. That's one good way to chip away as they move the ball forward with passes as opposed to trying to dribble through it. And they get the lay-in. Five minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in the first half. Score that one for number 21, Smith. Three-pointer off the mark, offensive rebound brought in. There's Deja Church. Church dribbles away from the screen. Strong move and a lay-in off the window. Deja Church. Shot off the mark there, crossover. They've been great at turning defense into offense here in this game. Baseline. The crossover guards have done a great job of making plays, knowing when to score it themselves, but also setting up others. First free throw good there for Ollinger. Makes the second. Under 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. Nice pass inside by Dilk. Smith is fouled on the shot attempt. So she'll head to the line for 2. Good on the first. Final 3 minutes of the first half. That one knocked out of play. It'll stay with Flight. No, actually, it'll go over the Michigan crossover. The officials put their heads together. Say last touch by Flight. Six seconds on the shot clock. That one doesn't hit rim. There was a little bit of a pause there as Flight had heard the buzzer go off, but it was the possession had already changed hands. They're off the ricochet off the backboard, so they paused for a second, nearly had the ball stolen, but instead the foul going to go against crossover. Strong drive, first shot misses, offensive rebound knocked away, and we'll have a jump ball. Cut there along the baseline, draw back out. Plenty of time on the shot clock, 13 seconds and counting. Nice shot off the window there for Dilk. That's the shot she's been able to get consistently throughout this game. It just hasn't fallen for as much as she would like, but good work in the mid-range for Dilk in terms of potential and what's in her skill set. They need a lot more of that if they're able to claw back into this one. Right now they pull it to within 21. They're after that lay-in. Offensive foul. Nice job of moving the feet there by Kaiser. Arm extended there by Church. Ten seconds remaining here in the first half. That one would have been good had it gone, but it does not. So we go into halftime. It's a lopsided affair so far with Michigan crossover leading by a score of 40-19. We'll be back after intermission.
The feeling of the perfect shot feels effortless to me. Right when I release that shot, it just feels serene and quiet. It's only me and the rim and the basketball. With my height, to have an impact and to be the player that I wanted to be, I needed to change my shot, and that was going to be something that would be beneficial for the long term. The process started just breaking my shot down from the initial release to the follow-through. And there were days that I couldn't even get the ball to the rim. There were days that I couldn't go outside of the paint area. It was very frustrating to not be able to shoot the way that I wanted to. The hardest part of that process was definitely the patience. But if I just stuck to getting better every day, eventually I would be able to shoot where I wanted to, anywhere on the floor. I went through some tough days, but found a way to just persevere and see it through. It starts with a great base and great foundation. It allows everything to feel perfect. I can do all things.